Hi, my name is Gerard and this is my video about my coming out story. So, where to begin with this, I'm not quite sure because there's not really like a key specific moment you remember that you properly know you're gay, but I'll try and explain as best I can. So yeah, as a kid growing up I was always kind of like shy and quiet. Even though I'm from a big family, a big noisy family, 5 brothers and 3 sisters, outside of the family I always felt kind of reserved. Like in primary school I didn't really have much friends, I didn't really speak to anyone just because I felt, I don't know, different, out of place. Not quite sure how to explain it, but when I went to secondary school I began to feel a bit more comfortable. I started to speak to more people and make friends. I guess I just felt a bit more at place because maybe it was an all boys school. Even though I felt more like accepted at the school, I didn't feel like I was being very much myself because I still was kind of shy, and there's some things I like held back on because sometimes I would do things as like a kid, like when I was younger, and I would get made fun of. So I remember like playing in the street one day with my sister, and we were doing like a clapping game, and like I must have been about 5 or 6 or something like that, and then there was other kids from the streets and they see me doing it and they kind of like made fun of me for it. And I guess I never really did the clapping game outside in public again. But yeah, so yeah, things like that kind of stick in your mind. And going into secondary school, I didn't want to do anything that made me like stand out because I didn't want to be made fun of and stuff like that. But I guess everyone feels like that, so I didn't really question why I was behaving a certain way to try and fit in. But then like as I started to get older, you start to think a bit more. One day when I was like 13, 14, one of my friends tried to like set me up with one of her friends, and we went to the cinema together, and me and this girl were just sitting beside each other, and then I'm just watching the movie, paying no mind to her, and then she like kind of puts her head on my shoulder, and I'm like, what is this? I just don't know how to react to it, so I just kind of like sit there still. I kind of want for her to get off my shoulder, but I just leave it at that, and then at the end of the night we say goodbyes and like kiss, and then I just thought I wasn't interested in her specifically, and that was that. But I guess as time went on I started to understand that I was actually more interested in guys. So from then I started to think to myself, oh, maybe I'm a different way inclined than other people. At this point I just thought like maybe I'm just bi, like guys and girls, because like if I seen a girl who's pretty I would think she's pretty, and I guess if I seen a guy who was fit I would just say he's fit. Then around age 14, 15, I guess that's when I started to understand my feelings a bit more. I begin to realise that actually I'm more interested in guys, and like pretty much have very little interest in girls. Still convincing myself that I'm bi, until like one day when I'm watching Shameless, and one of the characters, Ian, who is like gay, his brother in the show, Philip, he goes into his room which he shares with his brother, and then he looks around at his brother's side of the room and he sees some things that kind of like trigger in his mind that, oh, for sure his brother is actually gay.
Hiya.
One of the things he sees is a Kylie Minogue poster, and I actually have the exact same poster, because yeah, I love Kylie Minogue, and plenty of other divas. But yeah, when I seen him looking at this poster and thinking, oh, his brother's gay, I kind of thought to myself, you have the same poster, maybe you're gay. And yeah, from then on I just kind of realised that yes, in fact I was just gay. Realising that was just a bit of a shock. It was funny, but a shock, because I didn't want to be gay. I just kind of like put it aside in my mind. There was no way I was like planning on telling anyone this, because I really didn't want anyone to know. I remember going to school some days and seeing people being picked on because like people would assume they're gay and just like bully them for it, and it was just really like frightened me, because I never wanted to experience anything like that, and I just felt so bad for the people who were experiencing this kind of treatment. I really don't know how they got through it, because I don't know how I would have dealt with it. It just I just feel so bad for them. But so yeah, I kind of like pushed it to the back of my mind. I try not to think about it as much. Sometimes it's all you could think about. As time went on, I did eventually like meet guys and stuff like that and get to know some gay people. So when I got my first ever job at 21, I became friends with one of the guys from this shop I worked at, and he was gay, and he could kind of pick up that I was too. As much as I tried to hide it, sometimes it just creeped out, I guess. But yeah, for whatever reason, he knew I was, and he would try and like confront me about it. And I really didn't like this, as much as I enjoyed his company, and we were good friends, and we always had a laugh. When he brought up this subject, I just tried my best to like skip over it and just dodge it, because I really didn't want to get into it. I just felt like, why is he doing this? I don't want to talk about it. If he's experienced it and he knows how troubling it is, why does he keep bringing it up? And it wasn't just him. There was another school friend of mine who was gay, and whenever we were out, he would always like ask me, so when you're coming out and stuff like that, and that just really irked me and made me feel really uncomfortable. And I'm like, just stop it, like zip it. I don't want to hear about it, because they would ask me this in front of like all our friends, and then it would kind of put the thought into my friend's head, I suppose, that I was gay, and I really didn't want them to think that. So yeah, after like dodging all that kind of business, I again tried to like just get on with life. So in 2017, me and my friend, we went on a trip to Las Vegas and Hollywood, and I really loved it. It was my first time in America, and it just felt like such a blast, because getting to see all these things that you've only like seen on TV and stuff, it was just really amazing. And it was my first time like traveling without my family. By 2018, I was ready and raring to go back to LA again, because the first time around I never got to see it all, because we were only there for 2 days, and there was so much more that I wanted to explore. And one day I came across this thing called the Hollywood Pitch Fest, where you come up with an idea for like a film or a TV show, and you kind of do like this speed dating thing, going around all these different producer tables and trying to sell them and pitch to them your idea, and they give you feedback and try and hit you up about trying to get this produced, I guess. And this really interested me. It was kind of expensive, but I felt I had an idea that could really like take off. So I registered for this event. So then I started to ask some of my friends if they want to go to LA with me, but no one really seemed on board with it, because it was in August and this would have been like peak season, so prices of Hollywood and LA were kind of expensive at that time. But nothing was putting me off, and I was saving up anyway, so I was like, well, if no one's going to come with me, I'm just going to go by myself, because this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity, and who knows, maybe my TV show idea will pick up and get somewhere. When I got to the event, things didn't really go to plan, so it was definitely a learning experience in that sense, but people were interested in the show idea I had, and I still think it could be a hit. It really is like next Glee, I'm telling you. If anyone's watching this who is interested, hit me up. So when I was planning this trip, I was planning to go to America for a total of 12 days. 10 days would be spent in LA, 3 of which were for the event, and the other 7 were to go and do touristy things, go and explore, see Universal Studios, all that kind of jazz. And then I was planning to spend 2 days in San Francisco, also to get seeing tourist attractions like the Golden Gate Bridge. But another reason I was wanting to go was because I knew it was very gay friendly, and I thought, well, this could be my opportunity to like explore a gay area, because I started to read up about the Castro district and started to understand how important it was to the LGBTQ plus community. So yeah, I went and explored Hollywood and had an amazing time. And then once I made it to San Francisco, this is when I started to confront my gay side. So yeah, when I was there, I didn't know this, but the hotel I was staying at was right on top of a gay bar. I didn't plan this. Like, I was just planning to stay in a downtown San Francisco hotel that was cheap enough for the 2 days I was there. So yeah, I left the hotel planning to go downstairs and go into the bar, but then I noticed there was a person at the door charging an entrance fee of $10, and then I was like, should I go in? Should I not go in? Is it worth my money? And then I looked inside over their shoulder and I could see that it was kind of like not the most liveliest place. It was just full of, I guess, older men and women, and it just didn't look that appealing to me. So I got nervous and I just kind of like left and went walking around trying to find a place for food, and eventually found one after about half an hour of walking. And then I just went upstairs and Friends was on TV, so I just sat there and watched Friends for the millionth time in my life. And yeah, I just kind of felt a bit down about it all. I felt disappointed myself. I mean, like, there was other younger people there, but I just didn't know how to approach it, and I kind of like wimped out. So yeah, I went up to my room and I just started using good old Grindr, which was actually really handy because I got to talk to people from San Francisco, and they were really helpful in like answering questions I had, like about touristy things. And eventually I get chatting to this guy called Diego, who's really friendly, and then I explained to him I want to get exploring the Castro district before I leave and go home. He's like, sure, I'll show you around. So the next evening me and Diego meet up, and he's really lovely, super cute. He shows me around the Castro district, around the different bars and clubs, and even like a late night bakery that's still open. It's just kind of surreal being there. Even when I'm with Diego, like, we're linking arms walking down the streets, and this just kind of felt so incredible to me, because back home I would never dream of doing this, but over here no one knows me. Even when I was on the plane going to America, I was flicking through the movies to watch, and one of the movies on the flight was Love, Simon, and I'd never watched it before, but I knew it was about a guy who's gay who struggles to come out, and I was like, should I watch this movie, should I not? One of the reasons I wanted to watch the movie was because one of my favourite songs was featured in it, Love Lies by Khalid Normani, and that kind of like pushed me. But then I was like, oh, well, what if someone beside me or notices that I'm watching like a gay movie? And then I kind of thought to myself, well, actually no one on this plane knows who the hell I am, and I don't think they care anyway, and I shouldn't care if they care, you know. So then I'm just like, frig it, I'll watch it. And I'm so glad I did, because I have to say it's probably one of my favourite films like ever. So yeah, doing that was kind of like ripping off a plaster in a way, because it just felt like a big leap doing this thing, which is so minimal, just watching a film which just happens to be about a gay character, but it just felt like a big leap for me. And then just walking around San Francisco with Diego linking arms like two proper queens just felt so, I don't know, enjoyable. I just felt so free. So the day after, I meet up with Diego again, and we go to this really lovely park in the Castro district, and we just sit there and chill, and it's just so nice and peaceful. And then eventually I have to go home, so I say my goodbyes, and I'm starting to feel very sad that I'm leaving Diego because I really feel like I've met a really good friend. I'm just so thankful that I did meet him because he was like my personal tour guide showing me around the Castro district, and I couldn't have asked for anyone nicer. So yeah, I was really glad of that. After coming back from America, I was kind of expecting things just to go back to normal, but there was a change in the works because I got a new job. And this is when my coming out process began to take a whole new leap, because I start this new job, start working with this new team, and the guy who's sitting beside me in the office, who I become good friends with, just happens to be gay. Not that anything happened between us, he's got a boyfriend, but just having someone who's gay become like a daily part of my life. We didn't like sit all day talking to each other, we did our work and chatted now and again. I really felt comfortable sitting beside him because I felt he kind of got me. But after about 6 months into the job, this guy Stephen decides to leave because he wanted to go and spend more time with his boyfriend who works abroad. First when I hear this, I'm just kind of like sad because I was starting to make a new friend who just happened to be gay, but I knew this was going to happen eventually, but I didn't expect it to happen so soon. So it's his last day and our team go out for drinks, and he kind of says his goodbyes to everyone individually and shakes their hand. So at the end of the night, we're both walking off to get our bus home, and at this point I'm like, should I tell him that I'm also gay? And probably thinks he just already knows, but I just want to confirm it to him. But then I just kind of like chicken out, and we just kind of say our goodbyes, and then he hugs me, which makes me feel very special because everyone else in the group just got like a goodbye handshake, but that just made me feel really accepted. So once he leaves me and gets on his bus, I kind of think that's him out of my life forever. I'll never see him again, and I just feel very sad. But then I try and look forward to my upcoming trip to America, where I've got tickets to go and see one of the last episodes of The Big Bang Theory. So unlike my previous trip to America, this next trip is fairly short. It's just a few days. And after I go and see The Big Bang Theory on April the 2nd, I kind of do a bit more exploring around LA, and then I spent one day in Palm Springs going around the place, checking out the Ariel tramway, which is amazing, and then just going around the town, which is very gay friendly, which I find really appealing. One of the reasons I want to go and check it out, but it just wasn't as lively as San Francisco was. There was no Diego there. So this time around, coming back from America, I just felt a bit more down about it, because I knew once I get back to Belfast, I kind of have to go back into the closet. I can't be out and open like I am in America, and it just started to get to me. And the first day back at work, a new person had joined our team, taking Stephen's old seat beside me, and this just kind of like hit me hard that there's no one in my life that I have that I can open up to about this, because no one has the same experience of like being gay, because I don't really have like any gay friends that I can like talk to or anything like that. And so when I'm back at home, I'm just so down in the dumps. I'm just like just miserable, and I'm just starting to get scared that I'm beginning to get depressed. I've known I was gay since I was 15, and this is 10 years later and I'm still in the closet, and I'm halfway through my 20s, and I'm just like letting the best years of my life go by bottling up who I am and just not being open. And in my head I just can't stop thinking about this, and like I need to come out, but I don't know how to. So yeah, I just feel out of options and I don't know who to turn to. So in my head I'm like, I need to open up to someone, I need to come out, and I would only feel comfortable coming out to someone who's gay, and I can't really do it to Stephen because he's like moving on with his life and I don't want to kind of drag him into this. So I'm like, who else can I turn to? And then I think back to our office Christmas party, and a few of us from work were all going to this gay club in Belfast called Kremlin. And as we were walking up to the club, everyone's like, why are we even going here? Like, no one here in this group is gay. And then someone shouts out, "Oh, but Chris is." I'm like, "Who's Chris?" And I kind of like look around, and then once I figured out who this guy Chris is, I kind of kept him on my mind, knowing that he was the only other gay person in the office that I knew of. So once I came back from America and I was planning to come out, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna come out to him, whether he likes it or not. I'm laughing saying this. Then I slide into his DMs on our office messaging system called Slack, and then I'm like, "I need to tell you something." And at this point, I'm guessing he kind of understands what it is. So then we go to like the bar beside our office, and I don't even like tell him like the words "I'm gay." He just kind of like gets it and knows what I'm trying to say. So yeah, we just kind of like talk it out, and then he tells me about his experiences and then his boyfriend's experiences, and it's just really helpful to hear like how they dealt with it, and especially like how he feels now, because we're both like a similar age, and it just kind of motivated me. And then he tells me, "You should tell your friend Stephen before he moves away." So I decided to do that, and I'm really glad I did, because even listening to Stephen's story is just so good to hear, because his experience is so different to Chris's, and they're both so different to mine. But it still just like really like helps me understand a bit more about how to go about the whole process. So after that, there's only one person I want to tell, which is my ma, my mummy. So yeah, I'm like figuring out all these things in my head, like what's the best way to approach her on it. I remember my previous job in the BBC iPlayer support team, where I would go through the different programs on the BBC iPlayer streaming service, and one show I came across in particular was called I'm Coming Out, and I remember watching it a little bit, and it's about this guy who decides to record his parents' reaction when he comes out to them before he moves away to university to go and live his life. So he's still kind of young, younger than me anyway, but he's taking this really big step in coming out. Just seeing his process and how he goes about actually coming out is just so helpful to see, and then I start to watch more videos on YouTube about all these other people who've came out and their coming out stories, and it's just really uplifting, because everyone's story is so different. That's kind of what motivated me to do this video, but back to my actual coming out process. So yeah, by this point I've came out to Chris and Stephen, so that's two people, and the third person I want to come out to is my ma. And this is the big one, because it's the main one I care about most of all, because me and my ma are like very close. I just feel like I have a really strong relationship with her, and I don't want to do anything that for the spanner in the works, and this might do that, so I'm a bit nervous about it all. By the end of May, I'm like, I need to come out soon, because Pride Month is right around the corner, and if I don't do it now, I'll never do it. So one Sunday night, like 9 p.m, like this is the time to do it. Everyone else is in the room, so it's just my ma downstairs, and I can go in there and speak to her without anyone else interrupting. So I'm sitting at the edge of my bed, and then I just end up sitting on the ground thinking, what can I say, how am I going to do it, just getting really nervous and worked up, and I sit there for about an hour trying to think of what to do, and then I just like, you know what, get out of your room, go downstairs. And so yeah, about 10 o'clock, half 10, I'm on my way downstairs, and then I go into the kitchen, my ma's just in there watching TV, having a cup of tea, and yeah, this just starts talking to me about all sorts, the news, whatever, and then I just kind of say to her, there's something I need to tell you, and she just kind of looks at me a bit fearful, like, what is it? And then she starts to get a bit panicky and ask me all sorts of questions, and then I start to cry, and then she keeps asking me questions and questions, because I want to tell her, I'm like, I need to tell you, but I don't know how to. And then she just keeps asking me more questions and more questions, getting scared, like, are you sick? What's going on? Are you in trouble? And then I just cry even more and more, and then I say, I don't think you'll like me anymore when I tell you this, and then she says, don't be silly, of course I will. And then eventually she asks, are you gay? And then with whatever voice I have left, I just say yes, and then break down crying and sobbing, and then she hugs me, and then she just tells me that she loves me and she supports me, she doesn't care, and that's kind of all I wanted to hear. And yeah, from then on I just felt like, oh, nothing can top that. So yeah, once I came out to my ma, then I'm like, I need to come out to the rest of my family now. I'm questioning how exactly to do that. I could just tell them, but then I'm like, I want to do something a bit more creative because I like to be a bit more artsy. So then I decide to paint this and put it in the drawer, and then get them to open up the drawer and they could see that it says I'm gay. And once I do this, everyone's just kind of like a bit surprised, a bit. They're all just like kind of laughing about it, but they still say, well done, still love you, all this jazz. And one of my sisters actually begins to cry, which is just a bit funny to me because I didn't expect that. Once I came out to the rest of my family, I start to come out to some of my close friends, and then I do a post on Facebook, on Instagram, to come out to everyone on the last day of June, which is the last day of Pride Month. Thinking I was being really inventive, but then Lil Nas X does the same thing. Anyway, forget about him, back to my post. I do it and I'm really nervous about what to say. I spend a few hours trying to write it and take a picture to go along with the post, which is basically just me in my Will and Grace t-shirt holding up the I'm gay sign. Once I posted, everyone's just so supportive. I just got lots of praise and I was just really happy with it, so I felt really glad that I did it. I don't think everyone needs to come out, but I just felt the need to do that. I know it could be a bit cheesy sometimes, but I just really wanted to like express it, say I'm here, queer, get used to it. I did kind of say that, I think. So yeah, that was how I came out, and that was like a year ago, so I felt like this was the perfect time to do a video about it. And now that I've got my straight out of the closet t-shirt from the Jersey Shore store, where the cast used to work, that's a whole other video right there. But yeah, just getting this and wearing this makes me feel a bit, I don't know, content. I can't think of what my life would have been like if I was still in the closet. I think I probably would have been in a darker place mentally, because it just was so draining to keep it in all these years. And I know people come out in like different stages of life, but I really wanted to do it in my 20s, because people will often say the 20s are like the best years of your life, where you get to like figure yourself out. And I guess that's true, because I really did get to figure out that yes, I'm gay and I'm proud of it, whereas before I was kind of like ashamed of it, but I'm not anymore. And that's the main thing to take away from this. And even the post I did like on my Instagram like helped someone reach out to me, which I'm really glad about. I didn't really expect it to, because like I'm not an influencer or famous or anything like that. But yeah, just knowing that it helps someone in some way just makes me feel so much better, and I'm just so glad of it. I can't be happier to be out of the closet. So when I started making this video, it was like daytime, and now it's like nighttime. It's almost midnight. Now I need to go to bed and watch Love Victor. So, bye.